Do you ever feel stuck? Like there's a gap between who you are and who you want to be? Maybe you dream of speaking English fluently, reading more books, or finally starting that hobby you always talk about. But it feels like you need to become a completely different person, someone with endless discipline and willpower, right? Hello, future English masters. I'm Celine, and this is English Journey, the channel dedicated to helping you grow personally while mastering English. We release new videos every day to help you improve your English and transform your life. If you're ready to take control of your journey, hit that like button and subscribe to English Journey right now. Stick around until the end for key takeaways and a fun quiz to test your understanding. You won't want to miss it. Change your life, one tiny step at a time. We've all been there. You try really hard to change and it works for a little while. But then, you find yourself slipping back into old patterns. It can feel like you always fail. And with each attempt, you get more and more frustrated with yourself. The internet might tell you it's your fault, that you didn't want it enough. But here's the truth. Change is hard. And understanding why it's hard can make it much easier. Imagine your brain as a jungle. Think of your brain like a thick, dense jungle. When you try to do something new, it's like trying to walk through that jungle. It's difficult and takes a lot of energy. Your brain, being very smart, doesn't like wasting energy. So, it has a clever trick. All your actions and behaviors leave paths in this brain jungle. When you start doing something for the first time, you make a rough trail by stepping on some plants. The more you do that thing, the clearer that trail becomes. Over time, it turns into an easy-to-walk path, then a street, and finally, after repeating it for years, a super easy highway. Think about driving your car. Once you know the route, it becomes effortless and comfortable. The more these brain highways are established, the more comfortable you feel using them. So, we continue to use them, which means we tend to do what we have always done. This is why change is hard, especially when you're older and your brain jungle is full of these established streets and highways. Routines and habits, the things you do. To understand how these highways are built, we need to know the difference between routines and habits. A routine is a series of actions you do the same way every time because they work well for you. For example, maybe you always get the same ingredients for your favorite meal and cook them in a specific order because you like the taste. Or you set your alarm for 6:30 a.m. before bed because that's when you want to wake up. Think of routines as being managed by a wise planner in your brain. This planner is slow, thinks carefully, and is responsible for planning and calculating. It considers the future and chooses actions to achieve specific results, even if those actions are uncomfortable, like taking a shower right after waking up. Routines can eventually become habits, which feel much easier because you do them without thinking. You've done them so many times that your brain sees them as rewarding and a good response to a situation. When something is a habit, it feels like you're on autopilot. You just do it without having to convince yourself. The most important thing about habits is that they are started by triggers. These are signals or situations that tell your brain to begin an action. You already have many triggers in your life. For example, when you see your phone, you almost always unlock the screen. Or you reach for your seatbelt when you get into a car. Or maybe when you buy coffee before work, you also get a cookie, even if you're not hungry. Habits are managed by an impulsive toddler in your brain. This toddler responds to your immediate desires based on what's around you, without thinking about long-term goals. For the toddler, the future doesn't exist, and it hates hard work. So when it sees a trigger, it guides you to take that easy brain road that leads to a familiar, rewarding feeling. If you get coffee, the toddler wants the cookie because that's what you always do every morning. This rewarding feeling is how most bad habits begin too. Chocolate tastes good. Browsing social media is sometimes entertaining. That's why you repeat these actions even if they're not good for you. Actions that bring rewarding feelings demand to be repeated, and that's how a bad habit is born. Now, the toddler might sound like it's trying to sabotage you, but it's just as important as the wise planner, and they usually work together. You need your wise planner for big thoughts like parallel parking or doing your taxes. But letting your wise planner do everything would use too much energy. By letting habits, managed by the toddler, handle everyday tasks, your brain can easily manage your daily life while dealing with more complex mental challenges. So, if we want to change and add new behaviors to our lives, we can actually use these energy-saving systems to make it easier. We should focus on small things, not big ones. Improving your life a little bit is much better than aiming too high and changing nothing. Small changes can make a huge difference over months and years. Want to know how to trick your brain into making positive changes effortlessly? Keep watching to discover the simple secret. How to build a habit. If you want to make change easier, the best way might not be to force it with willpower, but to convince your brain that it's not a big deal. You can do this by creating new routines and then turning them into habits. You want your wise planner to build that first trail, and then use your toddler to help start the action easily. Let's say you want to exercise to be fitter, which is a very common goal. The first step is to break down this big, vague goal into clear, separate actions. The idea is to make the action itself as easy as possible, so small that it's manageable, and so specific that you don't have to think about it much. For example, a clear, controllable action could be doing 10 squats every morning. So, you can start by trying to create a routine, but also include clear triggers that your brain's toddler can pick up later. Remember, a trigger is just a signal you always connect with the action. Triggers can be visual, like seeing your exercise clothes, or a specific time of day, or a certain place like a park, or even better, all of these combined. The key is that you always start your action in a specific situation. This trigger is the start button that will eventually make the action happen automatically. So, to start a home workout habit with 10 squats, you could make sure to always do them in your exercise gear, in the same place, like your living room, and at the same time, like 8 a.m. Once you have your trigger and action, all you need to do is repeat them regularly, ideally every day. If you keep going, they will change from a routine to a habit, from a trail to a highway. Don't misunderstand. The squats will still take energy to do, but the decision to do them will feel much less like a chore and more like a normal part of your day. This might sound simple, but it's not always easy. Many things you want to turn into habits don't offer immediate rewards like wasting time on social media. To make your new action easier to repeat and more likely to become a habit, try to make it pleasurable. This doesn't necessarily mean rewarding yourself after you do it, but making the action itself more enjoyable. For example, only listen to your favorite podcast while working out, or work on your taxes while you wait for a game to load. You need to figure out what works best for you. That's basically it. It's frustratingly simple, like most things you can do to improve your life. How long it takes for your brain's toddler to take over and establish a habit varies a lot. It depends on the behavior, your personality, your stress levels, and many other things. It can take anywhere from 15 to 250 days for a new habit to start automatically from its trigger. You won't know how long it will take for you. Starting is the easy part, especially in the first week or two. Continuing to do it every day is the hard part, but it does get easier as you keep going. There are no magic solutions for change, but the science of habits reminds us that it's possible, no matter how old you are. Even if you only end up doing a little more good stuff or a few new things, that's still a success. Being a little bit healthier or more knowledgeable is infinitely better than being unhappy and changing nothing. In the end, change is a journey, not a final destination. Still not convinced tiny steps can make a difference? Wait until you hear these amazing transformations. Real-life examples of tiny steps. Let's look at some powerful examples of tiny habits that can transform your life, shared by others who have experienced their power. 1. Write 3 things you're grateful for. Start with just one if that's easier. The goal is to always look for the positive in each day. This simple habit can reframe bad days. One person even found it the most consistent habit they've done in 2 years. 2. Exercise for 1 minute when you wake up. Just 1 single minute. This isn't about a full workout, just a few simple exercises to get your blood flowing and clear your mind. Even if you prefer evening workouts, 1 minute in the morning can still help. 3. Organize your home. Dedicate specific areas for different tasks like reading, working, or sleeping. Cleaning as you go can prevent your home from getting completely messy, saving you stress later. By practicing clean as you go, you can reset your house in 3, 5, or 10 minutes at a time throughout the day, so it never gets out of hand. 4. Throw things away. Consciously make an effort to get rid of things you've kept just in case. This can be incredibly liberating and create more space. One person threw away 465 items following the minimalism game. 5. Manage your money. Know where your money is coming from and where it's going. You can use a free app to track expenses and categorize them. This takes just a few seconds and helps you understand your spending. 6. Stand up every hour. This might be challenging, especially if you sit for long periods. But changing this habit, even with reminders, can be very beneficial for your body. One individual found this to be the hardest tiny habit, despite its simplicity, because they'd spent countless hours sitting throughout their life. 7. Turn off notifications. Start with just an hour a day. It takes about 25 minutes to regain focus after looking at a notification. Reducing notifications can help you accomplish much more. Some people have become so addicted to this that their notifications are off for 2/3 of their day. 8. Prepare your clothes the night before. This simple step saves mental energy in the morning. Laying out clothes means you don't have to think about what to wear or find them in the morning. 9. Watch the news less. You don't need to watch the news multiple times a day. Reducing your news intake can keep you informed without feeling overwhelmed, and it frees up your time. Some people have reduced their news intake to once every 2 days and feel well informed without being overwhelmed. Practicing selective ignorance by not following news almost completely can reduce stress, as much of the news is negative and unlikely to affect your life. 10. Drink more water. A simple habit that's great for your health and accessible almost anywhere. 11. Discover one new thing a month. This keeps you curious and expands your knowledge over time. You can spend 10 hours on it one Saturday or a few minutes a day for a month. 12. Make your bed. Start your day with a small win by making your bed. This can set a positive tone for the rest of your day. 13. Spend a minute a day with yourself. No phone, no computer, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. This helps you become more aware of your thoughts instead of being on autopilot. 14. If a task takes 2 minutes, do it right away. This prevents procrastination and keeps small tasks from piling up. For tasks taking longer, up to 5 minutes, it's suggested to write them down and complete them within 1.5 hours to avoid procrastination. 15. Read for 15 minutes a day. Leaders are readers, and reading can significantly improve your life. Even if you can't find 15 minutes daily, aim for 1 hour and 45 minutes a week. Many people don't read at all, so this small step is a significant improvement. 16. Lessen screen usage. If you're spending hours on social media or watching shows you've already seen, try setting limits or using apps that help you manage screen time. One person even used two phones, a crack phone with distractions and a kale phone for essential apps, to completely remove the option of distraction. This reduced their screen time from 11 to 13 hours down to 1 to 2 hours daily. Taking social media off your phone can significantly improve your life as it often acts as an escape or makes you feel bad. 17. Have some go-to meals. Plan easy, healthy meals you can prepare quickly. This saves time, money, and promotes healthier eating habits. Meal planning can also save hundreds of dollars by reducing impulse buying at the grocery store. 18. Set yourself up for success with technology. Use features like focus mode on your iPhone to limit distractions. Turn off notifications for social media and emails. Consider setting your phone to grayscale mode at night to make it less appealing and reduce usage before bed. This can improve sleep and prevent doom scrolling. 19. Don't watch the next show. If you tend to binge watch, try not to start new shows. This can save countless hours spent on rewatching series like Friends or The Office. 20. Cancel some things on your calendar. Look at your calendar and find things you can cancel to save yourself hours of mental and physical energy, especially if you're an introvert. Practice saying no as your default, rather than yes out of guilt. 21. Wake up 5 minutes earlier. This tiny adjustment can significantly reduce morning stress and make you feel less rushed. One person who started waking up at 5:45 a.m. felt less tired and had more energy. 22. Put your phone out of reach of your bed. This makes it harder to hit snooze and encourages you to get up. This small change eliminated hitting the snooze button for one individual, who no longer wakes up tired from it. 23. Make an ideas folder on your phone. Jot down random thoughts or memories so you don't forget them. This can be useful for remembering important things or generating ideas for projects. 24. Avoid debt. High-interest consumer debt can be a huge mental burden. Prioritize paying it off as it can cause stress, loss of money, and missed opportunities. 25. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Don't wait for things to be perfect before you start. This perfectionism often prevents people from starting businesses, going to the gym, or finishing creative projects. The goal is to make progress, even if it's not ideal or perfectly executed. These small changes, often called Kaizen, can lead to remarkably big transformations over time. The Japanese used Kaizen to rebuild their manufacturing industry after World War II, focusing on tiny daily improvements. Robert Maurer, a clinical psychologist, wondered if this philosophy could apply to personal transformation. He found that by taking embarrassingly small steps, like imagining details of a dream job for a few seconds or marching in front of the TV for 1 minute during a commercial, his patients achieved significant changes. When you take tiny, almost embarrassing steps toward a goal, you tippy-toe past your brain's fear detection system and avoid activating your fight-or-flight response. This removes the urge to distract yourself and allows you to take action without the fear of failure. The more small actions you take, the quicker you build the foundation for new, positive habits. Ready to start your own tiny steps journey? Here's what you need to remember. Recap and takeaways. 1. Change is hard because of brain highways. Our brains prefer familiar, easy paths, habits, over creating new ones. 2. Routines versus habits. Routines are planned actions. Habits are automatic, triggered actions. 3. Break down big goals. Make your desired actions small, specific, and manageable. 4. Identify triggers. Use specific cues, time, place, objects to start your new action. 5. Repeat regularly. Consistency turns routines into habits. 6. Make it pleasurable. Find ways to enjoy the new action itself to make it easier to repeat. 7. Embrace tiny steps. Small, consistent changes avoid fear and lead to significant long-term results. 8. Focus on input, not output. Commit to small daily actions, not just big goals. 9. Be kind to yourself. Don't be harsh when you slip up. Self-criticism leads to quitting. Quiz time. Let's test your understanding. Answer these questions in the comments below. Question 1. What is the difference between a routine and a habit? Question 2. Can you give an example of a trigger for a habit? Question 3. Why is it better to focus on tiny steps rather than trying to make huge changes all at once? Question 4. Name one tiny habit from the video that you would like to try implementing in your life. Go ahead and share your answers. I love reading your comments and seeing your progress. Conclusion. Remember, your life is built one ordinary day at a time. By making small, consistent improvements, you are building a better future for yourself. It might not be easy, but it is definitely possible. Even if you only improve a little, that's a success. Start today. Take that one tiny step. You've got this. Thank you for joining me on English Journey. See you in the next video.